right, welcome to Mix and Mingle. I'm your host, Brighton. This is our boy,
M64.
And we are going to get right into it. In this beautiful little YouTube series, we're going to sit down with me, the host, and awesome DJs and producers like this cat right here, and introduce them to you guys and let you get to know the person behind the music and these awesome DJ sets. So, first episode here, we got our boy M64. Tell us a little bit about yourself, my man. Where you from?
So originally, I'm from Illinois. I've been in Florida since 2015. Came down here for school, went to Florida State. After that, I ended up over in Texas for a little bit, and then was there for probably 8-9 months. Then I went back to Illinois for probably a year or so. Then I moved down to Daytona, I think in 2018, 2019, somewhere around, right before COVID. And then I moved over to Orlando last year. So
Awesome. So
a little round trip there, you know what I mean?
I love that. Tell us, how the heck did you get into listening to electronic music? Because it's a real niche, strange thing. So everybody gets into it different. Some people's parents listen to it. Some people have a friend who put them on. Some people just stumbled upon it, like myself. Like I just showed up to EDC one day on 2 hits of acid and was just like,
here we are.
This is crazy. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, so hey, whatever. But yeah, that's what happened for me. So how did you get into this?
I mean, I'd heard electronic music before, just like, super mainstream stuff like Tiesto, Armin van Buuren, most likely, very radio heavy sort of things. But I didn't really listen to multiple different genres and know the depth of electronic music until college. My friend Michael Helock and my other friend Zach Marks actually took me to a couple of music festivals.
Shout out to Mike and Zach.
Yeah, they're the absolute homies.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out. Anyway, they took me to, I believe the first one I ever went to was a Lettuce and Lee Boys concert.
Ooh.
Which was psychedelic jazz and barbecue.
Out there, boy.
Yeah, dog, it was amazing.
I love
so that got
That's
me kind of
awesome.
into just the music scene at Sewanee, and so we came back for Tipper and Friends.
Tipper is the shit.
Woo, boy, that was an experience. After I got my DNA resequenced, I came back with a new appreciation for and knowledge of, bass music and things of that nature. So that took me to Okeechobee and then Halloween, and, you can just carry on from there, EDC and the whole nine. But those two guys really got me introduced to, as I said, the depth of electronic music and got my toes in the water. And that's kind of how I got my start there.
Yeah, I can really relate to that because, like I said, I literally just got thrown into EDC, and then I was like, "Oh, whoa, this is a wild, such an awesome environment and such amazing people." Mm-hmm. Especially whenever I first started going, just there was so much less people and such a good vibe, and the plur was just at an all-time high. And the community, I mean, say what you want, the EDM community is full of some wonderful, beautiful people who are so accepting and just so open-minded and just so fun. And I've had a good time at parties with people who are all above the age of 35, and I've had amazing times at parties with people all below the age of 35 in this scene, and can't say anything negative about it. I've never seen one fight at an EDM show, and other than somebody who's just whacked out of their mind on drugs, who are literally flailing for help.
Yeah.
Now I will say that when you get into the bass music, I mean, things get a little different when you get into the rhythm and people are really mosh pitting and stuff, but that's different. That's
different
different vibe, and that's the whole point.
They're there to throw bows and headbang.
Yeah, that's totally different.
That's chill.
There's a time
You're there for that.
Exactly. There's a time and a place for that, and that's the place and time for that. So I respect that. But like I was saying, the people are just the shit. So yeah, I can definitely relate to why you could go to a Tipper show and be like, oh, I fuck with these people.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not even necessarily just the people themselves, but the music, just the community overall, across the board, at places like Sewanee and Electric Forest, Bonnaroo, EDC, it's just good vibes. Everybody's there to have a good time, listen to great music. You know, they paid their hard-earned money to do that, and I feel like that's kind of the general consensus of everyone that's there. Is they're there to, you know, it's their time away from all the BS of the normal day-to-day, where they get to just, you know, wild out with their homies, listen to some really sick shit, and just, you know, hang out, which is, I can get behind all of that every day.
Every single day I can get behind that.
Right.
So tell some of these people about how you got into being the monstrosity, the animal, the creature, the goblin that you are on the production place in the studio, I guess is the words. In the stew. How you got to be such a goblin in the stew. Like, where did you learn it all? Like, how did you get to be this guy?
I mean, honestly, dude, a long, hard road of YouTube tutorials, trial and error.
YouTube University's the shit. Oh,
yeah.
Let me turn that off real quick, guys. Sorry about that. Go ahead, though.
No worries.
Yeah.
I'll continue on for you. I mean, like, dude, just grinding. I haven't taken any classes. I didn't grow up playing an instrument. I never really had thought I would do anything musically until I got around the environment of people doing it, and I was like, this seems like something that I would be interested in doing. So I started to, my friends DJ'd in college. They kind of got me started in that, and then once I started DJing, I was like, these songs are really cool. Yeah, why not take it a step further and try to make some of my own? So that kind of, you know, snowballed into me getting Ableton, me buying a board, me just kind of going crazy. Shout out my boy Michael Masters for putting me on how to DJ back in like 2018, 2017. He's the dog. He's out in Colorado now playing shows. My boy Matty G.
Another shout out to another Matt.
Homies. Yeah, dude. The first guy was Mike.
Mike, Matt. My bad. Mike, Matt. I'm bad with names. Everybody knows that. So, hey, big shout out to
it's all good. A lot of M's.
To the M crew.
Yeah. But, yeah, they're great guys. They kind of, you know, lit a spark in me. I saw them DJing, and I was like, dude, I want to do that. So I had them show me how. And then with production, they didn't really produce at the time. So I kind of just went into that dolo, and it's been great. I've loved it. I like making weird noises. I like experimenting with genres. I like just learning something new and, you know, making something that sounds cool. It's kind of just really the entire goal.
Yeah, I feel that, man. Absolutely. So, like, when you look at your growth from, like, let's say your first track to now, is there something that stands out, like, specifically?
Well, yeah, for sure. My first track wasn't in key. So that, or really anything coherent. It was just kind of these noises sound cool together. And I wouldn't even necessarily call it music because I don't think it had the structure that could have been called music.
Hey,
but it was interesting, and it made me want to make more. So that's kind of really all I care about. And so it was a dub, you know what I mean? That's all that matters.
And that's all that matters. Like, I keep my shit still up there. You guys can see my first track. It's still on Spotify. So, hey, you could see the growth firsthand. So, I mean, yeah, I respect it. I understand it. So, guys, don't get discouraged if you just got started and somebody told you your track sounds like shit, or it might actually sound like shit.
I was going to say, just understand it probably does, but don't stop.
Yeah,
Keep going.
Probably does. Don't let that. I know it hurts your feelings. You're like, this doesn't sound like shit. And you just listen to it in the shower, just like, this is a banger.
All right.
But it's not. And we say that with love and respect, because I have you could go look at all my not bangers.
Yeah, dude.
I
have some straight cheeks.
I bet you in a year, the stuff that I put out today, I'm going to be like dog shit. I bet you John Summit looks at like some of his top songs and he's like
frustrated.
Yeah, he wants to like, he's like, that hi-hat sounds
like shit.
Like shit. Yeah, exactly. So like, just know that you're not alone, one. And two, if you're over like critical, you're not alone. And if you're over in love with your shit, you're also not alone. Like, it's just a part of it. Like, I hope you love it because it's your baby, but also like, don't be too attached to it. Take criticism.
To that point, also, just in general, the best advice I can give any producer is to, if you're going to make tracks, finish them. They're never going to be perfect. They're never going to be exactly what you want. Out. It's never going to be done. I mean, I never feel like a track is done, but I'm like, this is as good as I could do currently, realistically, without spending an egregious amount of time on this to tweak the most minute things that no one else is going to give a shit about anyway. Just put it out, move on. learn again next time. Use what you learned in that session onto the next and keep going.
Literally 99.9% of normal
You're going to be a
ears-
lot happier person. You're going to have a lot more music for people to listen to if you do that.
Yeah, normal ears don't hear half the shit producers do. And
No.
as you get more and more into producing, you hear more and more in songs that normal people will never hear in a million
Won't
years.
notice.
Like, I literally heard this thing, I think it was, it's just some producer, and he was talking about how, like, he sent 2 different tracks to his label, and one of them he had, like, adjusted some hi-hats in and some certain things in just to make, like, added some filters on a couple different things in there, and he's like, since that second to them, but they'd already put out the first one, and he's just freaking out like, oh, it's gonna be a flop, it's gonna be a flop. It ended up being like his best track ever, and he's like, I hear it on the radio all the time, and I'm just listening to it on the radio just pissed off because it's not the right edit, but like everybody else is just jamming it, singing it on the top of their lungs.
Hey,
It's
man,
like,
you got to take a win where a win happens, you know, and
like literally, like it's
let the
just-
people be the judge. If they like it, it's good. If they don't, maybe you got something to work on.
If it sounds good,
You know?
it sounds good. Like,
Right.
to most people, they're never going to notice a filter or any, like, adjustment that is so minute that, like, I get it if you're switching out the hi-hats completely. If you're switching out, like, the sub completely, like, you're completely changing the form of the song or the melody or something. But, I mean, at the end of the day, if it's just small details, don't get hung up on it and just sit there hearing the same damn 8 bars over and over and over and over and over again until it's so ingrained in your brain that you hate it. Like, because that's something.
just
that definitely
drop the
happens.
track, bro.
Yeah, drop.
Just
damn
drop the track.
Just
Put it
drop
out.
the damn track.
Let
dude.
us listen to it.
But
We wanna
sorry,
hear
that's
it.
us nerding out because we do
Yeah.
that because we're producers. We got a little excited
It
there.
happens.
Sorry. Back to the show. Back to you. But anyway, guys. So, as I was saying, how did you get to like learn what you've learned on the decks? Is it just, do you practice a whole bunch? Is it just repetitive? Like, what is it? How did you get to be the man that you are
Honestly,
as a DJ?
I'm not even gonna front. I don't practice nearly as much as I should. I really just do a little like pre-show prep just to make sure that all my tracks will run and they're not corrupted or offbeat or the grids are messed up or anything crazy. Not that those aren't fixable problems, but I would prefer not to have to do that in the middle of a set. You know what I mean? So if I can avoid any stupid little, stuff like that, I try to. But I don't recommend not practicing. You should. I definitely should. I'm going to more. I need to set aside more time to it. I can't say that I do. I'm not gonna front and say that I do because I don't.
Be better.
I know.
You need more discipline, boy.
It's weird. I feel like a limited amount of
I'm just
discipline
trying-
that goes to certain things and
I'm
then
being
other things fail. So I don't know.
I was just trying to be a pod bro for a minute there. Sorry. Yeah, I was
No,
just
dude,
falling into space.
that's not very Sigma of me, bro.
Falling into the line that we're in right now. Just being a pod bro, trying to tell you to,
Lock in.
yeah, be more Rogan-like or some shit like that. But anyway, so I'm sitting here hearing you say you don't practice enough and whatnot, but like that makes me wonder, how long was it before you had the like balls to be like, you know what, I want to do a gig in front of people, or like, hey, I've got a gig in front of people. I'm not worried about it. Like, how long before you actually, first time you ever touched press play on some decks till like when you got yourself out there and started performing in front of actual people?
So the first time I ever DJ'd in front of what I would consider a decent crowd, which I would say like 30 plus people, was at a house party in the basement of my boy Devin Stone.
Shout out, Dev.
Yeah, his music is under stone.d. And
Oh yeah,
he's a G.
producer.
Yeah,
I like that.
he's a good producer and DJ. He's out of Pensacola right now. He also is a tattoo artist. So if you need inked up, hit up my boy.
Check him out, guys. Check him out.
He's good.
Support him.
But he was having a house party with my friend Aaron Inkelbarger. We all were in the basement. They had couches lining the walls. We had lasers. We had fog machine. We had like 415s down there. We were getting after it. And we had people out in the backyard. The door was open. So there was probably like anywhere between like 45 to 60 people there. It was jumping.
and this is in Tallahassee, so it's like a FSU party. There's a lot of people there. There could have been more. I don't know. I was slapped. But what I do remember was that they didn't have a DJ at the time, and I had my decks, so I brought them over, hooked up to the system, and I ripped a techno set, and it was really sick. And I was kind of nervous at first, but it was one of those things where you're like, dude, you do this all the time. These people aren't there for it, but it still sounds good, so who cares? Just do it. They don't even know who you are, so like whatever. So I just kind of went out there, did my thing, and I had people like shuffling and just, kind of, it was a major plus to the party. Because if you don't have a DJ at a party and you're just some dude with a Bluetooth speaker, like you can only get so crazy. You know what I mean? But that was really the first time I DJ'd in front of a crowd, and I think it was just more of a kind of fuck it, we ball moment than it really was any sort of hesitation. I would say I had more hesitation for my actual like club sets, to be honest.
House parties are some like
They're
honestly,
fun.
they're sometimes the most fun sets.
Oh yeah,
you can just get loose.
You can get
don't
wild,
really
play whatever you
care.
want.
Yeah, you can be weird. You can play whatever you want. You don't have any pressure of having like a manager over your
Exactly.
head and like somebody trying to like.
No, you're not
form you
worried
into,
about
like-
getting booked again.
Exactly.
You're just like, yo, I'm gonna throw down.
100%. Yeah.
Free reign.
Yeah, no doubt. So, back into the old interview, I reckon, even though I'm sure this man will be on the show many and many times. This is just one of many. He's one of the guys who's helped me in this game more than anybody, no doubt. If you guys go check out 6 Degrees, by the way, he's one of the writers on that. He helped me tremendously sitting
good
in
one.
the studio. We sat up all night long fixing it and making it sound like good enough to be out for your ears. So you guys check that out and help us out with that. And also make sure you follow this man on at Instagram at M64 to the floor. And I will 100% be including like his link tree and everything in the description so you guys can grab all his stuff from there, no doubt. But that being said, is there anything else you want to say before we break out these decks and let you just throw down a blah 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 blah, a disgustingly nasty nebulizing set for us?
Yeah, I got a lot of new music coming out. I don't know when, but it's done. I have several tracks that I'm just kind of hanging out with, enjoying them personally, gatekeeping them from you, but you'll get them and you'll like them. So follow me, as Brighton said, on SoundCloud, Instagram currently. I'm setting up my Spotify. I already have it set up. Actually, I just haven't put any songs out on it. I'm going to tweak the mastering on them a little so they're Spotify ready, and I'll get them put out for you guys to listen to. So be on the lookout for that. Other than that, have a great 2025.
Yeah, awesome.
It's the new year.
Awesome. Happy
Let's
New
do
Year's,
great things
guys.
this year.
We're going to crank up these lasers, get these fog machines going, and get this place bumping so he can throw down a set for you guys. Check out Zootopia. I'm playing there in February. It's a little festival here in like South Central Florida. And follow me on Brighton_DJ. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below on this video. And we'll see you guys in a few seconds. Let's get jumping.
You got to believe. You got to believe.
So love exists in things. Not just in people and not just in romance. Connects all of us and all things.
What a fucking fire set by this man M64, can I say? Thank you guys for hanging out and watching Mix and Mingle. I'm Brighton. That's M64. Make sure you comment below, like, subscribe to this channel, and check out what we are doing in our lives at the link in the bio. Thank you guys so much. Peace. You got anything to say to these people before we go? No? Just not.
If you're tuning in, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you didn't enjoy it. Tell me my I'd love that.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
Every time I hear music, I remember I love this life. I love this life. I love this life. Music. This life. I love this life. This life. This life. This life. Every time I hear music, I remember I love this life. I love this life. I love this life.